Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What's going on, people? What is going on? Thank you guys and welcome to Big B Daily Show. We are here on our new time, 9 o'clock Central, live on YouTube and live on TikTok, man. What is going on, people? How are you guys doing? Thanks for joining. TikTok is live and well today, man. Again, keep tapping that screen. 3,500 likes and at least 30 new follows. Keep going, people. We love you. YouTube, if you're not subscribed to Big B Daily, please, or Big B Sports Talk, please do. Thanks for coming in at the new time, man. It's going to be better for everybody. I know people work, and it makes it a little bit more difficult if you do and you can't watch it live. You may catch it later. But this is a better time for everybody involved, so I appreciate you all coming in, man. So let's get going with the show today. Let's get going. And I know where people want to go initially, but let's ease into it. Let's just ease into it, man. Let's talk about the Lions first. The Lions and the Rams. That was the best game of the weekend, by the way. That was by far the best game of the weekend. I had the Rams winning. I thought the Rams were going to win. I am not at all mad that the Lions won. First playoff victory in 30-something years. Good for them, man. Good for them. I'm glad they won the football game because the Rams were trying to win it. They were coming back, but easily that was the best game of the weekend. Best game of the weekend by far. No doubt in my mind that was the best game of the weekend. Matthew Stafford, he did exactly what I said he was going to do. I said he was going to go to Detroit and carve them up, and he did that. He carved them up. But we've all said it, man. We have all said it. You cannot kick field goals and expect to win. Too many times they got stuck and had to kick field goals and didn't finish. They did not finish. And if you don't finish in football, you get beat. And that's what happened. Too many drives. And the last drive, I don't know. I think they could have went for it. Or they should have called a play to maybe get, what was it, 3rd and 14? I thought, hey, man, just get like 7 yards. Get 7 yards and give yourself a better opportunity on 4th down. And they tried to get a big play, and I just didn't think that was the right call there. I thought, you know what, you're going to go for it on 4th down. Get yourself a better play. But then they gave the ball back to Detroit, and their defense had been playing lights out in the second half, but 2 drives, Detroit got aggressive. Good for them. They didn't just sit back. Detroit, got aggressive and made the change, went after it, got those 2 first downs, and that was it. That was it. But great football game, no, man. I don't know how anybody could not like that football game. That was easily the best play of the game. Best game of the weekend. Best game of the weekend was the Lions versus the Rams. Good football. Like I said, I picked the Rams. I missed on a lot of games this weekend. The only one I got right was Kansas City. I said, but you know what? The teams that I lost, or the games that I lost, I didn't mind them winning. And we're going to move on here. And we're going to talk about the Texans versus the Browns. I didn't mind seeing the Texans beat up on the Browns. As a Steeler fan, it pained me to pick the Browns, but I did. I thought Flacco Magic was going to do it. He didn't do nothing, man. He didn't do nothing. So I just think that it was the Texans, C.J. Stroud, that defense deserves more credit than what it's given, the credit that it's been given. And I'm the same way. I didn't give the Texans defense enough credit. I didn't. Didn't give them enough credit, man. But they came to play. They shut down Flacco Magic. Shut down everything that they were trying to do. 2 pick sixes in a row. Just ran right over that number 1 ranked defense of Detroit or of Cleveland. Just smacked them around. Good win for the Houston Texans, man. And I give the Texans a chance in the next round. Now, it depends on where they go. I give them a shot. I give them a shot. You know, I absolutely give them a shot. With Stroud playing the way he's playing and that defense playing the way they're playing, I don't care where they go. I don't care where they go. I give them a shot to win. I absolutely give them a shot to win. It's going to be tough. Now, we'll get into the two games today, and that'll decide where Houston goes. One of those games will anyway. But, yeah, I give them an absolute opportunity to win that game, man. An absolute opportunity. Because they just beat up the Browns. I mean, you just think about it. They physically whipped the Browns. They physically whipped them. And that was something that me and a lot of people didn't think that the Texans were going to be able to do, is physically whip them. So, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. But it's back to the drawing board for the Cleveland Browns, and I couldn't love it anymore. You know, Cleveland every now and then will pop up and have a playoff team. But basically for, I don't know, 25 years, the Browns have stunk. Everybody thought that this was their year. Now, here's a question. Let me ask you, TikTok, and let me ask you, YouTube. You're the Cleveland Browns. What do you do? Your team was mediocre. Your defense was really good, but the offense was mediocre. And your record kind of said the same thing. Deshaun Watson was your quarterback. What do you do? If Deshaun Watson was your quarterback, he goes down, then the team takes off. Do you bring Flacco back? Because the one thing that you can't do is trade Deshaun Watson. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to allow you to trade for Deshaun Watson. They're not taking on that contract. They're just not. They're just not. And Deshaun Watson would be an absolute fool if he did any kind of negotiation of whatsoever. He's not going to do that. He got $230 million guaranteed. He ain't, whatever's left on it, he ain't renegotiating. He's going to get every single cent of that. So do you give Watson another chance and say, hey, man, we believe in you. We think you got something. Keep going. Play better. We'll help you. We'll give you some more stuff. Or do you say, we're going to eat the money. He got to sit on the bench. Flacco was better. I mean, that's a question for Cleveland Browns fans to have to figure out, and for the Browns organization. But in Browns fashion, they are going to screw it up. Y'all do know that, though, right? Y'all know that the Browns are going to screw this up. You do know that. Whatever decision that they make will be the wrong decision. I mean, it wouldn't be the Browns. We know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. The Browns are going to screw it up. That's what they do. That's what the Browns do. I'm sorry. And y'all are going to say, oh, you're a homer. You're a Steelers fan. Am I lying? Am I wrong? I mean, if I'm wrong, please point it out. Please point out the time that the Browns in the last 25 years have made all these good decisions for the organization. Point it out. I'll listen. And I don't mind being wrong. You know me. If I'm wrong, just tell me I'm wrong. I may argue with you about it, but I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The Browns are the Browns. They're going to make a foolish decision, and it's going to end up costing them. Because I think they've got a good core. They've got something good. But it is what it is. It's the Browns. Good win for the Texans. They're dangerous moving forward. I don't care who they play, whether it's the Ravens or the Chiefs. Dangerous moving forward. I think they got a better chance against the Chiefs than the Ravens, obviously. But I wouldn't want, if I'm either the Ravens or the Chiefs, I don't want to see the Texans. I don't want to see the Texans. So, and I know that Buffalo gives the Chiefs nightmares. I get that. But if I'm them, I'd rather play the Bills and what they bring to the table than the Texans right now. That's just me. Because the Texans defense is better than the Bills, and they don't want to see that. They don't want to see that. But overall, great win for Houston, man. Great win for Houston. Let's move on. And let's just get it out of the way. Let's get it out of the way. The Dallas Cowboys choked again. Let everybody, let's just talk about it. Let's go. Here's where we are. The Cowboys again. Now look, I went to the Star last night. I thought, now granted, here in Dallas, it's like, 12 degrees. It's freezing cold, absolutely freezing cold. But I thought, hey, there's going to be some Dallas fans down there. There was nobody at the Star. Nobody. It was me and two other girls that were doing a photo shoot, and that was it. I tried to get in the photo shoot, but they wouldn't let me, though, by the way. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, there was two girls in a photo shoot and me at the Star. So y'all know I made a post. Of course, I made a post. The Dallas Cowboys choked again. And the final score wasn't any indicative of how that game went. They got massacred. The Dallas Cowboys got massacred on both sides of the football. That game was not close at all. It wasn't close at all. It was over in the first quarter. That's how bad it was. Now, we're going to get into this a little bit, and there's going to be the crazos out there that are going to start blaming you-know-who. And I'm here to tell you, I'm calling everybody out. And we're going to argue, and I'm going to call you stupid. I'm going to tell you don't know football. Dak Prescott played bad. He had a bad game. All those stats and all that stuff that you see, empty stats from Dak Prescott, the game was over, meant absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Dak Prescott did not lose that game for the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott did not lose that game for the Dallas Cowboys. And anybody who says that he did, you're crazy. You don't know football. You didn't understand what you were watching. I'm saying that, period, point blank. Period, point blank. And if you think that pick six decided the football game, you don't understand what you're watching on football. That game was long over before the pick six. It was over. The first interception was not his fault. And again, anybody that knows football knows that interception was not his fault. Now, again, Dak is not blameless. I mean, anybody that says that, he's blameless in this, you're insane. Of course, he participated in the loss. He had something to do with it. And I'm not saying that he's blameless. I'm just saying the Dallas Cowboys defense couldn't stop a high school team last night. They did nothing. They put up zero resistance. They never stopped the Packers. Think about that. They never stopped them. 6 touchdowns. 6. And you want to put all the blame on Dak? Come on, what are we talking about? It just doesn't make sense. And I know the quarterback gets all the blame, and he gets all the credit. But Dak doesn't tackle anybody. Here's the thing that I want to point out. So why doesn't anybody put the blame on Micah Parsons? Why doesn't anybody put the blame on Micah Parsons? Like, Micah Parsons is supposed to be the next, Lawrence Taylor. Did you all even notice if Micah Parsons was in the game last night? And I'm just asking. I'm just asking questions. Because what you all have told me is that Micah Parsons is better than TJ Watt. He's better than Myles Garrett. That's what you all have told me, Cowboy fans. Did we even know if he was on the field last night? Did you know? Did you notice? So Somebody on TikTok, I love it. Michael was doing a podcast. He was busy. I love it. I love it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And somebody, did he even have a tackle? I mean, I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. I don't mean to cause no trouble. I don't want to cause any trouble. All I know is Dallas Cowboy fans today, and last night I gave it to them. There were people in there whining and making excuses and crying. I said, good. Be in your feelings. Cry. Whine. I love it. I love it. And y'all can give it to me today. If the Steelers get their head beaten in, y'all are going to give it to me. But it's all in good fun. We know that. But nobody expects the Steelers to win today. Only Steeler fans expect the Steelers to win today or are hopeful that the Steelers will win. Steeler fans aren't even expecting it. We're hopeful. Everybody thought the Cowboys were going to win, and they were expected to win and should have won. Now let's dissect why they choked. Again, well, I underestimated the Packers' run game, and that's my fault. I underestimated the Packers' run game. I thought, down the stretch, 3 games in a row, Aaron Jones running for 100 yards. I thought, not against that good a team. And some of y'all tried to tell me, and I wouldn't listen. They came out and ran the ball down the Cowboys' throat. Just brutal. Just right down their throat. Loved every second of it. So, loved every second of it. And that's the problem. The Dallas Cowboys haven't been able to stop the run for 3 years. It wasn't just this year. It wasn't last year. It wasn't even the year before. The Cowboys have been bad against the run for 3 years. And that's why they got whipped. They got physically whipped. Again. And at some point, you've got to stop and say, okay, we got to do something. Now, granted, their middle linebacker got hurt, but, Van Der Esch, how good was he anyway? He wasn't that good. And I know he was out, and you can say whatever you want. The bottom line is the Cowboys got smacked around, physically whipped on both sides of the football. Dak choked again. And look, I'm not putting the blame on Dak, but let's not say that the man didn't choke. He did. He did. Again. At some point, he has to play better. Like the rookie year, they lost to the Packers in the playoffs. That was not Dak's fault. He put up plenty of points, didn't make any, crucial mistakes. They lost the game because Aaron Rodgers was just better than the Dallas defense. Okay, you can live with that. But the last time they've been in the playoffs, they've lost because Dak has not played well. And then the defense on top of that gets crucified. At what point do you say, okay, our defense isn't playing well, but me as the quarterback, I'm going to do everything in my power for us to win a football game? At some point, it has to be that. At some point, we have to say, yeah, you lost, but Dak, you didn't contribute to the loss. He keeps contributing to the loss. And that's why Cowboys fans are going ballistic. So I get it. But last night, Dak could have played the best game that Dak has ever played in his life, and the Cowboys were going to lose. That's my whole point about all of this. Everybody wants to pin it on him. You can't pin this on him. He literally could have played the best game of his life, and that Dallas defense was going to give it up, and they weren't going to stop the Packers, and they were going to lose the game. And that right there is a truth that a lot of Cowboys fans or a lot of Dak haters don't want to come to that conclusion. They want to make it all about Dak. They want to make it all that he lost the game. No, he didn't lose that game. Not last night. There's times that you can point that Dak lost a football game. But he didn't lose that one last night. Like somebody, Dak can't win a big game. Again, Jacob on TikTok, did you watch the game? Because if you did, then you know that Dak didn't have anything to do with that. He wasn't the reason. The defense got destroyed. Oh, we got 2 defensive players of the year, Bland and Parsons. Again, we've already covered Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons was in the witness protection program last night. He was in witness protection. I mean, again, did he make a tackle? Did they call his name? Anything? Did he do anything? No, he did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. Bland getting torched on the back end. No, guys running free. I mean, how many times did we see Packers receivers that was just running free? It was insane. And stop with the Micah Parsons was double nonsense. Okay? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, the dude was doubled. Like Micah Parsons is the only great football player that gets double teamed. Somehow they still keep making plays, but if Micah Parsons gets doubled, he can't make a play. Stop it. They ran the ball right at Parsons, and he did nothing, just like everybody runs the ball right at him. Jiminy Christmas. I mean, the excuses that Dallas Cowboy fans will go to, the links, just say you got your head beaten in and move on, because that's what we're doing right here. We're moving on. Now, let's talk about the games coming up today, people. Let's talk about it. And I'm going to start firing off and answering questions in the chat. So y'all start firing off questions. We got my man over here on YouTube. He's talking about Bland. My man James Richards. He says, besides the interceptions off bad throws, Bland hasn't been that good. Yeah. I wholeheartedly believe that. Now, he's made some good plays. Don't get me wrong. Some of these diving interceptions, the one he dove, I can't remember who it was against. He dove, intercepted, rolled around, and ran it back. That's a great play. But for the most part, Bland, not that great. Not that great. Tonight, who do we got? I got the Steelers. Now, I don't know if we can win. I think if the Steelers can run the football, I think the Steelers have a great opportunity to win the game. If the Steelers can run the football, and when I mean run it, I mean run for 170 yards. That's the number that I've put out there. They got to keep the ball away from Buffalo. Own time of possession. They got to run. Now, if they can run it, they got a shot. But if they're trying to throw the ball all over the yard and throwing incompletions left and right, because I think that Buffalo will be able to run the football. The Steelers' run defense isn't very good. We have no middle linebackers that are any good. They're all hurt and out. So we'll see what happens. No TJ Watt tonight. That's going to hurt. I mean, that's going to hurt. I've been trying to lie to myself and say that, oh, we got other guys that can step up. Yeah, I don't care who we got. Unless it's Myles Garrett, there ain't nobody that's going to come in and replace TJ Watt. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. They're going to run the football with James Cook. And I know people keep saying that they're going to play off Lenny is going to run the ball. Well, how many carries does he have on the year? Leonard Fournette. Either way, we got to keep the ball away from the Bills. If not, it's my prediction, and I'll tell you right up front, the Steelers will either win the game because they have been able to run the football and keep it away from Buffalo, or the Bills are going to blow the Steelers out. That's it. One or two things. I don't think it's a close Buffalo win. It's either going to be a Steelers close win or a Bills blowout. So that's my prediction. That's my prediction. And the Steelers got to catch the ball when Josh Allen throws it to him, because he's going to throw it to him. You got to catch it. You got to catch it. He's been throwing it to people all year. So we'll see. We will see. I'm fine. I like this new time slot, by the way. It's early in the morning. I know a lot of people can't catch, but I like the new time slot. I like it early. So I appreciate y'all showing up, especially on TikTok and on YouTube, man. And if you can't catch the YouTube show live, come and check it out later. Just subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. Tell your friend. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. But I got the Steelers tonight. I'm hoping. I mean, as a Steelers fan, I'm not going to pick against us in the playoffs. I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not an idiot. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, what about this Bucs-Eagles game? I mean, well, let's just go over what's going on in Philadelphia. Their defense stinks. The back end of their defense can't stop anybody. They are terrible. Let's get that out of the way. They can't run the football anymore. Even when they were running it, their offensive coordinator is so bad that they stop running the football. A.J. Brown is out. There's reports A.J. Brown has been in Atlantic City. He's not even rehabbing. He just said, I'm done with the season. He's been in Atlantic City partying. Devontae Smith is hobbled. Jalen Smith is hobbled. Who gives the Eagles a chance to go win? I don't. I think the Bucs win the game. I don't know if it's going to be easy because the Bucs really still aren't that good. But I think Tampa wins. I think they win the game. So, yeah, A.J. Brown's not playing. A.J. Brown is not playing. So, my man Mike Yates on YouTube says you got to bring the pressure to Baker hard. Yeah, they do. But have they been able to do that lately? That's the thing. What have they been able to do? What have the Eagles been able to do? So we'll see. Who do the Lions want to play next? Well, I would say, well, I think it's already been decided. I don't think there's a choice, is there? Because San Francisco plays the lowest seed. So, yeah, the Lions don't have an opportunity. They're going to play the loser of this game or the winner of this game. Because the Packers won, so the Packers are going to San Francisco. So, yeah, it doesn't matter who the Lions want to play next. Now, unless we're talking about between the two teams, I think the Lions would want to play the Eagles. Or I take that back. They would want to play the Bucs. Because I think they can manhandle the Bucs up front. That's because the Lions' offensive line is crazy good, and I think they would manhandle them up front. So if I'm the Lions, that's who I want to play. Bills, Steelers score prediction. Y'all know me. I usually don't do score predictions, but I'll do it today for the playoffs. Steelers 20, Bills 17. We get a late field goal by Boswell to end it. Josh Allen throws a late pick. Steelers run for 174 yards, keep the ball away from Buffalo, and they win the game. Getting to 30 points the Steelers have only gotten to 30 points this year, I think 3 times. And you're telling me they're going to do it in the snow, in the wind, in the cold? I don't think so. They're not getting to 30 points. And you know what? I don't think we have to. And I say we because I've been a Steelers fan my entire life. And I'm just going to throw this out there while we're talking. Anybody that says we when they're talking about their team, if you spend $1 on merchandise, you can say we. So if you've ever bought a hat or a sock or a pencil, a backpack, anything that has to do with the team that you support, if you spent $1 on them ever, then you can say we. You can say we. So I say we when it comes to the Steelers. We got a shot. We got a shot. Let's see. What do we got down here? Darren Howard says, do you think the Texans are good at home in a dome? They have to travel the rest of the way to cold weather. That's a good point. That's a good point. Are they just good at home or are they just good in a dome? That might be a good point. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Playing in cold weather is a different animal. It's a different beast. And no matter where they go next, they're going to go somewhere where it's cold. And that matters. That matters, people. That matters. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Somebody over here, Tommy on TikTok, saying when he dies, he wants the Cowboys to be his pallbearers so they can let him down one more time. The Cowboy fans are going through it today, people. They're going through it today. Now, they usually go through it this time of year when they make the playoffs and they choke, but they didn't think they were going to choke this year. They thought for sure they were going to get to the NFC Championship game. That's why Cowboys fans are going through it today. They knew that they were going to get there. They were going to have 2 games at home in the playoffs where they have dominated everybody this year at home. They knew for sure NFC Championship or bust. Well, it turned out bust. It turned out bust. The Packers said, no, not today. Not today. The Packers just said, no, we're going to smack you around, and there isn't going to be anything that you can do about it. There isn't going to be anything that you can do about it. I love it. I love it. Here's a good question. Do you think Harbaugh will land with the Chargers? And how do you feel about the Bolts drafting neighbors with the 5th pick? Great question, my man from the Prophet L. I think it's maybe Eli. But we'll just call you the Prophet. I think it's a great question. I do think Harbaugh lands with the Chargers. And I do think that they have to bolster up their receiving core because, you know, they took the guy last year from TCU and he stinks. He can't catch a cold. But I think it would be best if they built up their defense. I think that's how they get better. They're not going to sign Khalil Mack. They're not going to re-sign him. You know, Bosa got hurt. I think you got to build up the interior of that defense before they do anything. Because that's where the problems lie with the Chargers, is up the middle. That's where the Chargers' problems lie. Now, somebody said that Justin Herbert is the white Dak. No, he's not. He's better than Dak. He's better than Dak. You tell me you put Justin Herbert on that Dallas team that they're not better? Come on. But don't get me wrong. I'm not a guy that wants to just give all this praise to Herbert. I got to see it. Don't be losing 27-0 playoff games and letting teams come back on you. You know. So I'm that guy. But at the same time, he's better than Dak. The people, they are going through it. Dallas fan, Dak right now. Here we go to the basement. I love it. And again, as the president of the Dallas Cowboys, or not the president, the vice president of the Dallas Cowboys Hater Committee, I love that the Cowboy fans are going through it today. I love every second of it. I love it. Oh, Brien, you're just a hater. Oh, Big B, you're just a hater. Yes, I am. And it's okay to be. It's okay to be. Everybody, it's okay to be a hater. There's haters with everything. You might as well admit it. And I admit it. I live in Dallas. I love today. Days like today are good for me. And I know that makes me a horrible person. Why would you bask in somebody else's misery? Because I'm a hater of the Dallas Cowboys. That's why. And I'm a hater of the Dallas Cowboy fans. That's why. Period. End of story. So all us Dallas Cowboy fans out there, or haters out there, you don't have to apologize. You don't have to be upset. If somebody says you're a hater, just say, yes, I'm a hater. And your team lost again. And move on. Just move on. Today, I know it's Martin Luther King Day today. And that should be respected. MLK Day is a great day in this country. And I don't want to diminish that. I don't want to diminish it. But the Cowboys lost. It's even more cause for celebration. It's even more cause for celebration. Cowboys choked in the playoffs. MLK Day. Whoo. It's almost up there with Christmas, people. It's almost up there with Christmas. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm throwing that out there. I'm sure there's be some people, some idiots that say, how could you desecrate MLK? That's not what we're doing, people. This is a show. We're having fun. We're having fun. Relax. Relax. We're having fun. My man, Mike Yates. Let's talk coach free agency. Cowboys absolutely have to bring in Vrabel or Belichick. If they don't, it's a failure on Jerry's part. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Because we saw a lot of that last night and a lot of it again today where people are saying Coach Belichick is coming to Dallas. Now, why would he do that? Why would a 72-year-old come to Dallas where he's not going to be in control of the team? Where he's been in control for the last, 23 years? Why would he go to Dallas and let Jerry Jones still be in control? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't think Bill Belichick is a candidate to go to Dallas at all. Now, money talks. So enough money, people will do whatever. So I'm not here saying that there's 100% chance that Belichick doesn't go to Dallas. Because if they give him enough money, he's going to go. But logically, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, logically, it makes zero sense, actually. So, him having to beholden to Jerry Jones when he knows he's forgotten a million times more football than Jerry Jones is ever going to know. I don't see Bill Belichick putting himself in that position where he just came from one of the best owners and then going to one of the worst. And what I mean worst owners for Jerry Jones is an outstanding businessman owner. Outstanding. The best in the world at being a sports owner on the business side. On the football side, he's one of the worst. Because he meddles. He's the general manager. He won't get out of the way. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's got to stop. But he won't stop. I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And I think somebody said Jerry wants to be the GM, the coach. Jerry just needs to go be the coach. And I think when he fired Jimmy Johnson, that he probably wanted to be the coach, and the NFL wouldn't allow it. So I don't see Belichick going there. If I'm Vrabel, there's no chance in hell that I go to the Cowboys. You just came from a bad owner. There's no way in the world that I go to the Cowboys if I'm Mike Vrabel. I try to go to Seattle. I try to go to Atlanta. I would even try to go to Washington. But there ain't no way in the world that I go to the Cowboys. And it's not because the Cowboys is such a bad job. I think Vrabel's really good, but I think Vrabel needs to go someplace where he's got some control over personnel. You're not going to have control over personnel in Dallas. He needs to go somewhere where he's involved heavily. Mike McCarthy, he just, okay, give me the team and I'll just try to coach it. So that's what I think Vrabel should do. That's what I think. Good question, though, over on YouTube, man. Good question. So let's see. What else do we got? Let's see what we're popping over here on TikTok, man. TikTok says Bills Mafia. They are on me today. They want the Bills to blow out the Steelers. I don't blame you. I mean, I've been talking a lot of nonsense. I get it. So Stephen A is going off. You knew he was going to go off. And he should. We all should. Again, we love to hate the Cowboys. We love the Cowboys the misery. We love it. I think Josh Allen is going to have some turnovers. I do too. We got to catch him, though. Texans versus Eagles. You think in the Super Bowl? Wow. I don't think there's a chance in hell that the Philadelphia Eagles make it past. Even if they win today, they ain't making it past next week. And there is no way they're getting to the Super Bowl. No way. But it is what it is. Bills by 40 today. Could be. If the Steelers can't run it, it could be. Bills by 50. Not 50. Stop. We're going to get embarrassed tonight. Maybe, but we don't play tonight. We play in the afternoon. Chiefs 49ers rematch in the Super Bowl. That's a good possibility. You think Detroit beats the Eagles? If the Eagles make it, which I don't think they will, but I think Detroit beats whoever they play next. I think Detroit's going to the NFC Championship game. I thought it was going to be tough for them to beat Dallas in Dallas, but Dallas ain't there. I think Detroit they're playing at home too? Yeah, I think Detroit goes to the NFC Championship game. I think Detroit is going. Some people say Harbaugh to Washington. I don't think Harbaugh would go to Washington. Even though it'd be close to his brother and their fans and all that could move. I just don't think that's going to happen. His parents could move close because apparently his dad lives across the street or next door to him. So we'll see. But I don't think he goes to Washington. I think he goes to L.A. I think he goes to the Chargers. You got the quarterback in place. You got at least the left tackle in place on the offensive line. Everybody keeps talking about how good the defense is with the Chargers, which it's not. What were they, 30th again? I mean, they're terrible. So we'll see how all that works out. But I think Harbaugh goes to the Chargers. And I think he's got to be the first domino to drop in the coaching, the coaching aspect. I think Harbaugh's got to go first. When he goes first, then I think other people will go, including Belichick. I don't think anybody's going to do anything until they know what Jim Harbaugh does. And then Atlanta will make a decision. Seattle will make a decision. New England already made a decision. All these teams are going to fall in line. And I'll be surprised if we don't hear later today that Mike McCarthy has been let go. I will not be surprised that before the Steelers-Bills game comes on, that Mike McCarthy has been let go of the Dallas Cowboys. I would not be surprised if we hear that before the game. So, and my thing is, hold on, Dan Quinn, if the Seattle Seahawks hired Dan Quinn, they're damn fools. Why would you want Dan Quinn as your head coach? Were you not paying attention to the football game that just happened? A defense that he was running? Were you not paying attention? Dan Quinn has no business being a head coach in the National Football League. No business. Teams wanted to hire him the last 2 years. He stayed in Dallas. Well, now he blew his chance, in my opinion. Because we just watched your defense get embarrassed. Just watched them get embarrassed. So, no. If they hire Dan Quinn, they're not trying. And I don't know if we're done. Besides the Cowboys, are we done seeing head coaches get fired? Is there anybody else that you think that may get let go somewhere? Anybody else that you could think of? I mean, people are talking about Sirianni in Philly. I don't know. I think he's a bad head coach, but I don't know that. I mean, they still won 11 games and they went to the Super Bowl last year. How do you say you get rid of that guy? So, and yes, somebody just hold on. Hold on. Lion fan said it. Dan Quinn already had a shot and blew it with Atlanta. I don't know about you guys, but answer me this. Are you all tired of just constant retread coaches in the National Football League? I get tired of it. I get tired of these guys that get fired because they're bad getting another chance. And I don't care who you are. I'm like, why do you got fired because you stunk? Why do you have to get another job? It was like in Carolina. Why did Carolina hire Frank Wright? Frank Wright got fired in Indianapolis because they were terrible. And he thought that bringing in veteran, washed-up quarterbacks was the answer. But then he got another job immediately. I'm like, okay. He didn't even he was there, failed. We don't care that he failed. We'll give him another chance. Versus a guy like Steve Wilkes. He didn't get a real fair chance in Arizona. He gets fired after 1 year to bring in Cliff Kingsbury. And that guy can't get another job? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. But it is what it is. I don't know who's going to take the Carolina job. That's why I didn't mention it. Somebody brought that up. Yeah, that's the worst job in sports. And then, yes, it's an NFL job. There's only 32 of them, and somebody's going to take it, and they could turn it around. But they have literally, in my opinion, the worst owner in all of sports. Tepper is the worst owner. He's the worst owner. So it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Somebody say Arthur Smith to coach drivers at FedEx. I mean, I get it. Arthur Smith, he's making a name for himself despite who his father is. Hey, more power to him for that, man. More power to him. So, the Steelers firing Mike Tomlin. I don't think they fire Mike Tomlin. I think they should trade Mike Tomlin. I don't think you can fire him. And look, y'all know me. I've been on the record saying that I'm done with Mike Tomlin. I'm tired of the mediocrity. I'm tired of constantly not winning playoff games. 7 years, no playoff wins. But how do you fire a guy by winning 10 games when you're on your third quarterback this year and all the injuries they had on defense and they still won 10 games? I don't think you can fire that guy, but you can trade him. You can trade him and bring in somebody else. I just don't think Pittsburgh's going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. And I'm going to be mad again next year because we're going to, again, be 9-8, 10-7. We're not going to win a game in the playoffs. We're not going to win the division. It's just, I've said this once, and I'll say it 100 times. Mediocrity is the death of your franchise. Let me say that again. Mediocrity is the death of your franchise. Because when you are mediocre, you're not getting better. You're not getting worse. You just stick around. The owners love mediocrity. Owners love mediocrity because you're just good enough for everybody to keep filling up the stadium, but there's not enough pressure for you to win. Because as long as people keep coming to the game, that's all owners really care about. I mean, yeah, they'd like to win, but as long as they just keep showing up, you keep buying merchandise, you keep buying concessions and parking and tickets. Owners care about the bottom line more than anything else. And as long as you keep showing up, that's all they care about. Mediocrity is the death of your franchise. As a fan, let me clarify that. As a fan, because as an owner, absolutely not. Mediocrity is your best friend. Mediocrity is your best friend. It's just like the owners have fooled the fans for all these years about being on their side when it comes to labor negotiations, contracts. They've got the fans fooled. and fans take their side religiously, which to me, I just don't understand. It's insane. But they're good at what they do. Thanks for the gift, by the way, man. On TikTok, we appreciate it. So, dude, in the NFL, each team gets a split of profits. So you're telling me that the Atlanta Falcons get a split of the Dallas Cowboys revenue? Please shut up. The only thing that they get a split of is television money. Now, don't come in here trying to embarrass me and tell me what you know and you don't know. They don't get a split of the Dallas Cowboys TV, or not TV, but their merchandising, their concessions. They don't get a split of that. They get a split of television money, and that's it. Other than that, they don't get anything. So sit back in your corner. Jiminy Christmas. And talk to people like they're adults. Don't start the sentence out with dude. Okay? My God. I'm 48 years old. Big Chiefs fan here. I hope we play y'all honestly. You know, I was hoping that we were going to play the Chiefs because my wife is a diehard Chiefs fan. Diehard Chiefs fan. So we were hoping that the Dolphins won that game at the end of the year and that the Steelers were going to go to the Chiefs. But that didn't happen. And looking back on it, I'm glad because there was no way, let me repeat, no way was I going to sit in minus 5-degree weather to watch a football game. I don't care what. I don't care what. So that wasn't going to happen. There ain't enough Fireball, bourbon, whiskey, vodka. There ain't enough of any of that I could drink without literally dying that would make me go and sit in that to watch a football game. There ain't enough. There ain't enough. There just ain't enough. I love football. I love the Steelers. But come on, people. Come on, people. There ain't no way. There ain't no way in the world I could have done that. And wasn't going to do it. I can deal with 20, 30 degrees. I can deal with the snow, But rain, wind, and cold are things that I'm not willing to put my body through. Look, I'm fat as it is. Why do I need to go out and just get pneumonia for a football game? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And my wife wasn't going to do it either. Somebody said, you do it for your wife. No, she wasn't going to sit through that nonsense either, man. So, but I love you guys, man. I love this new time slot at 9 a.m. Central Time. We are going to be doing this I take that back. We'll do it Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, we're going to be live on TikTok. We're going to be live on YouTube. Tell your friends, man. Tell one friend. If you do anything, just tell one friend and say, hey, man, come watch this fat, crazy Steeler fan on TikTok and YouTube. He's wild. He's wild. He's honest, because that's the one thing that I am. I'm always going to be honest, whether you're talking about my team or anybody else's team. I'm always going to be honest. You may not like it, and I'm going to make fun of you if you say something stupid like the other guy said, all the teams share everybody's profit. So then that would mean that everybody's equal as far as their value. And we know that everybody is not equal as far as their value. I just sometimes just say, hey, maybe I should think before I should talk. But that's whatever. I'm always going to be honest. I'm always going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell you how I feel. You may, like I said, you may not agree. You may not like it. But I'm going to stand on it because that's just what I do. I love to have fun. I'm always going to laugh. It's always fun, man. So again, if you're in here and you're not following me, please give me a follow, man. We appreciate it. We are going to be here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Time. Come show up. Now, here's the thing. I'm expecting y'all, if the Steelers get whipped, I'm expecting y'all to come in here tomorrow and let me have it. I'm expecting you guys to come in here and let me have it. But the one thing that I know for an absolute fact, if the Pittsburgh Steelers win the game today, I am going to be unbearable, TikTok. I'm talking to you. YouTube, let me talk to you. If the Steelers win the game today, tomorrow, I am going to be unbearable. You may not even watch me again. You may not come to the show anymore. That's how much of an asshole I'm going to be to each and every person in here that gives me nonsense about the Steelers. I'm just telling you right now. I'm just telling you right now. So you may want to come back to see it. You may want to come back to see it. So, but again, on the flip side, if the Steelers get whipped, I want to see each and every one of y'all in here giving me the business tomorrow. Because if they win, I'm just telling you, don't let the Steelers, y'all need to root against the Steelers. If I were y'all, I would root against the Steelers. Root for them to get beat and blown out. Because if the Steelers win, I'm just telling you right now, you're going to say, man, Big B is an asshole. That's literally what you're going to say. You are going to say, Big B is an asshole. I love to watch him, but he is an asshole. Because that is what I'm coming in tomorrow to be after the Steelers get this big win, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you guys again. Love the new time slot, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., man. Thank you. If you're not following, give us a follow. More importantly, click on the YouTube link in my bio, man, and come on over to the YouTube show. Subscribe to Big B Sports Talk on YouTube if you're on TikTok. Come on over. Subscribe over there. Let's have some fun. Either way, glad you guys joined. I will holler at y'all tomorrow. Aloha.